गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर जय राधे जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद हरे कृष्ण वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो Hare Krishna. We are studying Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, Opulences of Lord Krishna, verse 31 and 32 we will be discussing today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading verse 31 and 32. So 31, yeah, we can do repeatedly. Pavana pavatam Rama Shastra Bhratam Aham Jashanam Makaraschashmi Shrota Sam Asmi Janavi Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Bhratam Aham Jashanam Makaraschashmi Shrota Sam Asmi Janavi Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Bhratam Aham Jhashanam Makaraschasmi Shrota Sam Asmi Janavi.
Pavana Pavatamasmi
Pavana Pavatam
Rama Sastra Bhratamaham
Ravana Sastramaham
Sasanam Makarastasmi
Dasaram Makarasasmi
Shuta Samasmi Jannavi
Shota Samgami
Pavana Pavatamasmi
Pavana Pavatam Rama Shastra Bhratamaham Jashanam Makarastasmi Shota Samasmi Janavi. Matajis? Pavana Pavatam Rama Shastra Bhratamaham Jashanam Makarastasmi Shota Samasmi Janavi. Okay, what meaning? Pavana, the wind. Pavatam, of all that purifies. Asmi, I am. Ramaha, Rama. Shastra Bhritam, of the carriers of weapons. Aham, I am. Jashanam, of all fish. Makaraha, the shark. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Shrotasam, of flowing rivers. Asmi, I am. Janavi, the river Ganges. Translation: of purifier, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Of all the aquatics, the shark is one of the biggest and is certainly the most dangerous to man. Thus, the shark represents Krishna. Text 32. I'll read by myself. Sarganamadirantascha madhyam. You can repeat with me or maybe. Amsadirantascha madhyam chevam arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vada pravadatam aham. Sarganam, of all creations, Adhi, the beginning, Antaha, and Cha, and Madhyam, middle, Cha, also, Eva, certainly, Aham, I am, Arjuna, O Arjuna, Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, Vidyanam, of all education, Vadaha, the natural conclusion, Pravadatam, of arguments, Aham, I am. Translation: of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Purport: among the created manifestation, the first is the creation of the total material elements. As explained before, the cosmic manifestation is created and conducted by Mahavishnu. Garbhodakashai Vishnu and Shirodakshai Vishnu and again it is annihilated by Lord Shiva. Brahma is a secondary creator. All these agents of creation, maintenance, and annihilation are incarnation of the material qualities of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, He is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all creation. For advanced education, there are various kinds of books of knowledge, such as the four Vedas, their six supplements, the Vedanta Sutra, Book of Logic, books of religiosity, and the Puranas. So, altogether, there are 14 divisions of books of education. Of these, the book which presents Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge in particular, the Vedanta Sutra represents Krishna. Among logicians, there are different kinds of argument, supporting one's argument with evidence that also supports the opposing side is called Jalpa. Merely trying to defeat one's opponent is called Vitanda, but the actual conclusion is called Vada. This conclusive truth is a representation of Krishna. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Apitam Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagna Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamshta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Ganta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrupashcha Kripa Sindhu Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this chapter is very important and very wonderful chapter, and I must say this is one of my personal favorite chapter because it's all talk about the vibhutis of Krishna, like how the opulences of Krishna. And further, this section that we are studying right now from the verse 16, like Arjuna started to ask, like, I wanted to hear more of your opulences. Like it says, if you see in this world, we are all covered by Maya, and due to which Krishna says, I give buddhi and jnana, because we are like bewildered, and bewildered asamoho means bewilderment is there, and it's by the mercy of Krishna only this bewilderment can be gone away, and he can give us the buddhi or intelligence how we can be free from all this delusion or bewilderment. And that also depends how we are approaching Krishna, the Lord. If we really wanted to get rid of our bewilderment or delusions, so that's how, like Arjuna, how sincerely he's approaching. So how his doubts are carried away, like finished. When he approaches Krishna, he presented all these things to Krishna. Oh, this is my doubts. I'm confused now what to do. So Krishna take care of all the doubts and he finished. So that's how it depends. And further things, because of all these things, if we don't approach Krishna, if we remain in our own ego, so we cannot see Krishna with our naked eyes. Like we are on this material platform, on this material body, with this flesh, blood, and this all this kind of material body, we cannot see Krishna with our naked eyes. It's not possible. So, but there are people who see Krishna every time, every moment. Who are these people? Are they from the different planet? No, they are from here only. So they are the pure devotees of Lord. But they have something special, and that is Prem Anjana, that is the sap of love of God. So it's a Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. So they have this love of God. Because of that, they are able to see Krishna every time. But for us, it's not that easy. So it's difficult part. So because, and if we see in Dwapar Yuga itself, Krishna was personally present. But how many of Duryodhana was not able to appreciate Krishna? His beautiful beauty, he wasn't able to. The Dushasana, these people are not able to appreciate. But on the other side, the Pandavas, the Viduras, they are able to appreciate Krishna's beauty because they are the devotees of the Lord. So that was the qualification. They are able to understand. So Krishna, therefore, he was mentioning about the conditioned souls, we are not able to understand because of this covered Maya, the cloud of Maya. It's a like sun and the jiva. There is a covering of the cloud, and the cloud cannot be removed easily. It can only be removed by the mercy, and how we are approaching. If we are sincere, it would be possible. So, in the mood of like submissiveness, inquiry as Arjuna is approaching, so that's how he is also getting free. So we see in this chapter, Krishna is talking about, proceeded like talking about his opulences. Then he actually talk about very important Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Like there are 4 shlokas, 2 shlokas how the devotees deals with Krishna, and the 2 shlokas talks about how that Krishna is reciprocating with his devotees. Like we see like Machita, like how the devotees are discussing about Krishna, about his glories and all, and how Krishna is reciprocating. That also we studied. That Krishna says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Those who are engaged in my devotional service, I give them the intelligence how they can come back to me. And those who are illiterate, for them what it is, as a super soul within, he enlightens the lamp of knowledge. Through that they are able to see, so that they can understand Krishna and get back to them. And seeing these things and understanding, Arjuna, when Krishna spoke these 4 Chatushloki Bhagavad shlokas, then Arjuna praises Krishna, glorifies. He says, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Devyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Like that he was glorifying Krishna. He was saying, Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, purest, absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, unborn and the greatest. All the great, it's not me, my words. It's not my words I'm saying. I'm talking on the authenticity, authority. And what are the authority? All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, they're also confirming that you are the original person. And then he says, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me previously. Neither the demigod nor the demons or the Lord can understand your personality. Nobody else can understand. Only, as I mentioned, the devotees can see Krishna. There is a qualification. So he says, then Arjuna says, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, original of all, Lord of all. As Krishna mentioned in the 7th chapter also, that he is the cause, source of all, Bhumir Apo Nalo Vayo. He mentioned that he is the source of everything. And he mentioned not just the superior, inferior, everything, material or spiritual energy, everything is emanating from him. So that's he mentioned in the 7th chapter, he already mentioned. So Arjuna says, yes, I accept. And then he says, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. How you are managing and maintaining all these things by your different energies. And then in the 17th text, Arjuna said about, he talks about like, oh Krishna, Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? Now why he is asking this question? Arjuna already, he surrendered. Okay, I understood, I totally accept your supremacy. Now why he is asking further? He is asking, how shall I constantly think of you? How shall I know you? And in what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? But as says this Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, like inquiring on our behalf, on the common mass, because common mass people are on the material platform, like we are also. I don't know about you people, but I'm still on the material platform, so not able to see Krishna. It still takes a lot. So he's asking on that way, like how we can all the time remembering you. Like on now, especially these verses, like we are talking about, Krishna is like mentioning about these things, like how looking at these material things, we can remember you. Like if we see this table, the source is tree, and this table is coming from the tree, the wood. And who is the source of the tree? Krishna, if we see in that way. But for that we need to have some vision, we need to have some understanding. On the material platform, the material people, they can only see materialistic things, but not above that in relation with Krishna. So that he was mentioning, like he was asking this question, then how to understand these things. Like in the purport, even the 17th text, if we see, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit repeating. You must have already heard all these things, but just repeating for my own understanding. In the purport, Krishna mentioned in the last, and Prabhupada says, he says in the verse, Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. So he says, like the words Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu refer to material nature. The word bhava means physical things, like these physical things, the chair, table, all these things we see around. Because materialist cannot understand Krishna spiritually, As I mentioned, the materialist cannot understand Krishna spiritually. They're advised to concentrate the mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. So that's how the verses we talked about now, the opulences, we see, like Krishna said, from the pond and lake, I'm the ocean. Like the pond and like the material things. Like if you see, and Krishna, now, but how Krishna is mentioning about among them, whatever is the best is that represents me. If you see in that condition, that way. So this is from the material things, how we can see and remember Krishna. That what the opulences Krishna mentions here. He says, please describe me in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. Obviously, devotees are never satiated. So that's how Arjuna is saying. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So that's a devotee's condition. Hope we also develop that thing, hearing more and more about Krishna and developing that taste. So, like as the physical things I mentioned about, like if we take one example, if we understand a little bit how from the physical thing the remembrance of Krishna is there. If we take some mundane example, like a child when he goes to home, if he see a coat or a shoes or a tie, he says, "Oh, father is back to home." Then he asked his mother, "If father is back?" He says, "Yes, yes, he's in the room." Coat is not living thing. The shoes are not living. They are not the living entities. But the thing is, by see, he can recognize, oh, it's my father's. So he can relate to that thing. So similarly, all this opulences, the extraordinary things, we see either Krishna says, I'm the ability in the man. If we see the person is so much of able to do the things, or so much strength he carries, so we can immediately understand, oh, it's from Krishna. So similar way, in the further these opulences, Krishna talks about. So this was the examples given. So ability we see. And now the further as Krishna talks about all the opulences. So we go to our verse 31. That here he mentioned Krishna says about of purifier I am the wind, of the builders of weapons I am Rama, of fishes I am the shark, and of flowing rivers I am the Ganges. So Pavanha Pavatam Asmi. There are many purifying objects. There are so many purifying objects. Among which wind is also purifier. As you see, even in our body also, the most purifying thing is the Vayu. There are so many Vayus in our body, so that detox, it helps in detoxification. It's very important. So that's a one example. Even if we see, if we are trying to construct some house or something, we see how the wind is, how the ventilation is there. Nobody likes to have without ventilation the house, otherwise it's like not easy to survive. So in that way also it's like purifying things. And among all, the wind purifier is the wind is the topmost. So that's Krishna says that purifying potency of wind, that the wind carries that purifying potency, that represents me. So that's Krishna. If we see the strong wind, we can understand it's Krishna. And the next he says, Rahama Shastra Britam Aham, Shastra Britam, those who carry weapons. There are many, but among them most formidable and fearsome is two Ramas. It can refer to Parshuram and Ramachandra. But Valdev Vidyabhushan, in his commentary, he specifically mentioned that it talks about Parshurama, not Lord Ramachandra, because here we are talking about the vibhutis of the Lord, that's opulences, not the incarnation. So Parshurama is the empowered living entity who is able to, like, very strong. As we see the example, like 21 times he's like finished all the Kshatriyas from the earth. We remember, so he's so powerful in that sense. So in that sense, it talks about the Rahama Shastra Bhatam Aham, means among the most formidable and fearsome is two Ramas. It can refer to Parshurama. And the last one he says, Jhashanam Makaras Chashmi, among the fish I am the shark. So shark is very swift and is very focused. It's very focused. Its skill is like once it's like sees prey, so it's finished. So it's very dangerous. So Krishna says, shark is so swift and so fearsome, they can swiftly catch and consume a person. So the ferocity, power, speed, that representative of Krishna's opulence. And the last one is about the Ganges. Shrotasam Asmi Janavi. So Janvi is the name come from the Janvu Muni. We know when Bhagirathi was bringing the Mother Ganga. So when the Ganga went into the ashram of Janu Muni, so Janu Muni was like, oh, my ashram is now drowning. So he drank all the Ganga. And Bhagirathi, where is the Ganga? And he says, I drank all. So he said, no, I'm taking to the earth. I want to liberate my ancestors. So because he's taking it to Ganga Sagar. If you ever been to Ganga Sagar, it's a very amazing place. So then Janu Muni, from his right ear, he brought the Ganges back. And that's why Ganga became the daughter of Janu Muni. So that's the name comes Janavi. So that's the one name of Ganga. And Ganga is very purifying because It's again when Mahamana Dev, like when Bali Maharaj gave the 3 steps, when he was counting the steps, so it pierced the universe, and that's how the Ganga was coming from there, Akash Ganga. So it touched, but it touches through the feet of the Krishna, so it's like Charanamrita of the Lord. So that's also it's very important and purifying, Mother Ganges. And it says the Ganga is sacred. Ganga comes from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Ganga is received by Lord Shiva on his head, and Ganga is so special among all rivers. So that's how. So it considered to be manifestation of Krishna. So Lord's Charanamrita, anything related to Lord is not different from him. So that's why it's representation of Krishna. So when we see Mother Ganga, we remember Krishna in various ways. So there is a one bhajan also that verse says, Charana Siddhu Dekhiya Ganga Sukha Sasima Paya. So in the Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, that song comes. So that also mentioned about Mother Ganges. So our next verse is 32, so that we will discuss in little more detail. So it says, of all creations, I am the beginning and the end and all the middle. So Krishna has many times mentioned about it. And O Arjuna, of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among all logicians, I am the conclusive truth. So Madhyama Chaiva Arjuna, of all creation, I am beginning, middle, and end. Earlier in 10:20, Krishna talked about his perversions for living beings. So beginning, middle, and end here. He's talking about non-living things, Sarganam, Adir, Antashta. All this I am, he says. Means living, non-living, everything is maintained or created by him. So he says Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. This is quite important. We can focus on that. So there are various kind of knowledge, but the most important among these are Adhyatma Vidya. If you say so many Vidyas are there, some are getting PhD, so many Jnanis are there, but what is the more like different kinds of Vidyas? We are also getting education in our college, universities, and school, but which is the most important? That is spiritual knowledge. So Krishna says that spiritual knowledge is me, because spiritual knowledge it helps us to opening the door to go back to home, back to Godhead. Because if we don't know about ourselves, it's the spiritual knowledge that tells us who we are actually. And if you don't have that knowledge, I did my engineering, whole engineering, I never understood who I am. And nobody taught these things. And nobody talked about like you are not the body, you are the soul. It's only when I got the Bhagavad Gita, I get to know, oh, I am not the body, I am the spirit soul. So this is the false identification I was living with. The false things, oh, I am female or this and that, so many false identification. So Adhyatma Vidya is very important. So Krishna says that knowledge is me. So that's why I was mentioning the spiritual knowledge. So he says Adhyatma Vidya, material Vidya can help us in material world to attain that says basic needs, roti, kapada, makan, to some extent, but it cannot get us out of material world. The material knowledge, if you have lot of money, can it buy your soul? It cannot buy your soul back. You have a lot of opulences, you can have opulence, chappan bhog, but is it going to get you free from this material entanglement? No. There are many rich people. Are they going back to Godhead? Can they buy the ticket to go back to Godhead? No. So these material things, opulences, or material education, even if you are so educated, no, it's not going to help you in any case. You might be PhD, but if you don't know who you are, what is the meaning of that PhD? You are just simply wasting your time. So even in Bhagavatam, Krishna says in 49 in the end, he says, anything that is done which does not lead to Krishna consciousness is a sinful activity. Any education that does not lead one to understand Krishna is false education. It's very important statement in the purport. If you go to the 4th canto, in 429, 14, it says, any education that does not lead one to understand Krishna is false education. So if Krishna consciousness is missing, one is simply engaged in false activities and false educational pursuits. So education is waste. So why not? We are spending so much of years, like almost so many years wasted in our modern education, but ended up with like degree kuch aur hai and naukri something else we are finding. And sometimes we are like jobless. So what's the point of that education? We don't even use it in our personal physical life. So it says, so Krishna says Adhyatma Vidya. So Krishna involvement is very much required. And then it says, so Krishna says, Adhyatma Vidya can get us out of material world and provide fulfillment in this world. So that really makes some sense when we're reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. It's good now the Bhagavad Gita is getting introduced in the Bhagavatam, is introduced in so many libraries in universities and colleges. Our devotees are taking. so that the people with their material education can get to this spiritual education. That's how our devotees are doing, going out preaching, so that they can understand what is the real education, not something material that will help you to go out of this material world. So now the next it says Vadha Pravadatam Aham. There are various kinds of argument, but Vada is the argument which is conclusive. So in this, the purport also Prabhupada mentioned about yes. I'll read. Just hold on. And the Prabhupada mentioned in the purport in the last, among logicians there are different kinds of argument. Supporting one's argument with evidence that also supports the opposing side is called jalpa. Merely trying to defeat one opponent is called vitanda. But the actual conclusion is called vada. This conclusive truth is a representation of Krishna. So in the Nyaya Shastra, we say there are 4 kinds of these arguments or logics we say. Tarka or debates, we say one is called samvad, that's conversation, samvad. The first one is Krishna mentioned in Vad, and the one is Jalpa and Vitanda. So the 4 are there. So samvad, that is the topmost among the 4. Samvad means the conversation, like one is superior and another is inferior, who is trying to learn. So samvad means samyak vadaha. So vada means a debate that is based on like some rules or some conducts, like there are some references are given. It's not simply, hey, no, it's not just shouting and presenting your arguments. No. How many of you being into the arguments with someone? You been to, huh? You get into some argument with someone? How many are never been into any arguments? Is it? No, we all into some arguments, especially when we started practicing Krishna consciousness. Then our first arguments are with our family members. That if they are not devotees, how you started like chanting? Oh, you stopped eating onion garlic? How come? You are going to temple now. What about your education, your studies? They're like, कहाँ लिखा है? Where it is written, one should not eat this thing, one should not do this. कहाँ लिखा है 16 माला करना? Where it is written 60? Only this Bhagavad Gita. So many arguments comes up, isn't it? But the real argument Krishna says here, the argument that concluded and establishes the truth. And in previous time we say the people used to do the, nowadays we do so many games we do, like we're doing cricket or something. But previous time it's very like intellectual games were there, and that's like logics. One is called tarka vitark, like the logics are there. People are presenting the tarka and trying to establish the truth, not like in a way of defeating, but in a way to establish the truth. That's called vada. So samvad I was talking about. So samvad samyak vadaha. So samyak means one who knows the tattva and other is wanted to know the tattva. Like tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinha. So this kind of a conversation, one is superior and other is inquiring, that's called samvad. So this Bhagavad Gita is also samvad. We say Krishna Arjun samvad ki jai. No, we say this thing. So this is a samvad. And there's another samvad is like Ramananda Roy and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a conversation. They also has the discussion. And very wonderful discussion. One is inquiring and one is learning. So that is also Ramananda Roy Samvad. Rai Ramananda Samvad. It's known as that Samvad. What other Samvad you can give the example? Anyone else? Or koi example? One. Yeah, Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami. That is also Samvad. Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring, learning from Shukadev Goswami. Our Naimisharanya, in Naimisharanya, the Brahmanas, they are learning from Shuta Goswami. So there are Samvad. This is the topmost, where they are trying to learn about the absolute truth. They are establishing the truth and learning and inquiring. One is giving the knowledge, another is receiving. So now we come to the another. The first one is, obviously it's very important. Krishna says here, in the purport, if you says, I am the beginning and the end, also the middle. This is the first knowledge we should be understanding. And of all the sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. That Adhyatma Vidya, we got some knowledge. Oh, I am not the body, I am the spirit soul. Okay, now the further inquiries. Now among the logicians, I am the conclusive truth. So through this samvada, we should be establishing the vada. Means coming to the absolute truth, establishing the truth. Now I'll mention about the other, that's called Jalpa and Vitanda. So Vitanda is like, because I am into the book distribution seva, you all must be distributing also. There are many. So when we distribute books, many people coming with the logics, not logics, with the arguments. As I mentioned, why this Bhagavad Gita? Where is the Gorakhpur? They talk about different Bhagavad Gitas and all. Krishna ne aisa likha hai. Why he mentioned like this thing? So many things here comes up. Now, Vitanda means debate, but the motive is to defeat other person somehow or other. Vitanda means to defeat other person. Point is not to establish the truth, but to defeat. That is their arguments. इसको किसी भी तरीके से हराना है. So that is their Vitanda. That's like they're having the argument, oh, this, and they're shouting. It's aggressive mode, it's heating, but they are not, it's not coming to the like calmness, coming to any conclusion. So this we don't have to do, get into all those things. So Vitanda is not for us. And the Jalpa is another category, that's the lowest among the lowest. In that thing, whatever you say, I will say what I wanted to say. I don't care. I don't even listening, but I'll present my argument. Somehow or other, I'm just fooling you. So that's Jalpa. So there are different kind of like this. I say Vada. So Vada means establishing the truth. So what we have to do is even like Jalpa and Vitanda. If we get into any of these things, anyhow, by chance, we always get into. I know we get into all these heated arguments or sometime. We should try to bring them to the Vada, means coming to the Vada. But how we can bring that to Vada? By learning through the Samvada. You know? So when we have the Samvada, when we are hearing from the superiors, we are learning from them, we are inquiring, then we have what we have to say. And how we can, like these heated things, we can bring it to the calmness. So that's how, like Vada is the establishing the truth. So that we have to bring, that's how Krishna is established. And that's what we have to do also. So that's Samvada. So that we need to do. So there is in the Tarka, there is one more now it's coming, so I'll talk about it. Says Kakatala Nyaya. So means unnecessary. Sometimes people just do the conversation like anyhow. They give their own logics. There is no relation, but they give their own logics. Like sometimes one tree, tal tree, one kaka means crow is sitting. Some fruit is falling, and the person says, "How this fruit fell down?" Oh, because the crow is sitting. No. The fruit was already ripened, so that's why it fell. So this is their tarka vitarka. Is this the point to talk about? No. So this is unnecessary discussion. So it's like kak, tala, nyaya. We don't have to get into all these logics and things. Sometimes we also, somebody came to get the okay, Maharaj, how we fell into the material world? Is it from the Vaikuntha or the Goloka, or I did something wrong? What you have to do, you already fell in. Now you got the opportunity, you are in Krishna, go now take up. Like, why you get into all this? You got the knowledge, somehow we had the material desire, we fell into. But getting into, sometime, we also do some unnecessarily tarka vitarka. How it happened, how that happened, how karma act. There are so many intricacies and so many things. So don't get into kak, tala, nyaya. So don't into those things. Try not into the Vitanda and the Jalpa, get into the Vada. Try to understand, and that through the Samvada. So that we need to getting into. So I'll just wrap up what we studied today. As I mentioned, we are covered like jivas. From the naked eyes, it's not easy to see Krishna and remember Krishna. But those who have that love of Krishna, they can see Krishna everywhere. And Arjuna, when Krishna talks about Chatushloki Bhagavata, he gives how the devotees are dealing with Krishna, talking about him, like glorifying him, and then how Krishna is reciprocating by giving those who are engaged in devotional service, Krishna give buddhi, dadami buddhi yogam. And those who are illiterate, not understanding much, Krishna still, there is an hope. Don't consider yourself useless fellow. These shlokas are one of my very favorite, 10.10 and 11, because sometimes we don't understand what to do. Even in the services, we're like, I'm useless fellow, no intelligence. But this really gives hope. So as I say, this chapter is quite very close to me. It's very, these shlokas are very favorite to me. So Krishna says, I give the knowledge of lamp within you. As being a super soul, I enlightens the lamp of knowledge and helps you. Don't worry. But we need to be sincere for that. As says, how we are approaching, how Arjuna approached, not in an arrogant manner, in a very submissive mode. Like submissively he was inquiring, sincerely he wanted to know. And or the delusion and bewilderment is going away. And then he was like, okay, I understood. He was glorifying Param Dhama, Param He was glorifying Krishna, but on the basis of the authority. Now he says, no, not my. I'm talking about the authorities are also establishing these things about you. You are the supreme, you are the purifier, you are the transcendental, you are the eternal, and all these things. And then Arjuna wanted to know more. I says the devotees are never like satisfied. They wanted to hear more and more. They are never satiated. This is the lakshana of a devotee. They wanted to hear more and more about Krishna. So that's how Arjuna was saying, I wanted to hear more. And says, I wanted to hear more about your opulences. But Arjuna knows everything. He already surrendered. He knows your supremacy. But why is he inquiring? For the common mass. Because they are on material platform. And material way, how, says Keshu Keshu Bhava, we studied in that shloka. Through the physical things, how we can see Krishna. So Krishna then started up glorifying his opulences, means among the best. Like there are dogs and the lion. Whom you will be fearful of? Dog or the lion? Lion. Because lion is the like controller. He controls all the animals in the forest. Like the Indra is the controller of all the demigods. So Krishna says, I am the lion. I'm the Indra. So that's how one who is the best among all, that what represents Krishna. So that's how we can remember Krishna. So that's how Krishna also mentioned here, among the purifier, I'm the wind. Among the all the fishes or the makarandas, that says, yeah, I'm the shark. And among the wielders of weapons, I'm Rama. That's Parshurama. And of the flowing river, I'm the Ganges. So that's what he mentioned. And here it mentioned, of all creation, I am the beginning. I am the end and also the middle. Arjuna means everything is emanating from him. And everything going back into him. In the Mahavishnu, when everything annihilated, where it goes? Enter into the body of Mahavishnu. And creation happens, everything comes out of him only. Isn't it? And who is the maintainer? Vishnu only. So everything is done by him, his energy. And of all sciences, I am the spiritual science. Means all the vidyas, the important vidya is that leads to Krishna consciousness. We studied in the purport, among all the education that does not lead one to understand Krishna is false education. So if Krishna consciousness is missing, one is simply engaged in false activity and false educational pursuits. And the last we studied about this Vada, Jalpa, Vitanda, and the most important Samvada says, there are many. So we have to be establishing, coming to the conclusive, among the conclusive truth, Krishna says, I am that. So we have to knowing that says, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. We have to try to understand the absolute truth, try to establish the truth. So we have gotten the opportunity. So through the Samvada, establish the Vada, but not into the Vitanda and Jalpa. So I'll conclude here only. So any of you have any questions or comments or want to add up something? So please, most welcome. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Any questions or comments? Anyone having? Anything you want to add up something? Or if nothing, we will end up. No questions? Okay. So we'll end up here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Arjun Samvada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. Yes, Mataji? हाँ. छह वेदा नहीं माताजी, चार वेदा से होते हैं. Like fifth Veda. Vedanta Sutta, yeah, it's mentioned here. For advanced education, there are various kinds of books of knowledge, such as 4 Vedas. There are 6 supplements. 6 supplemented like our Upanishads and Puranas, like kind of. There are 6, like, it says the Vedanta Sutra, like there are 18 Puranas that talks about 6 are division of the modes. So that's why it's mentioned. The supplements are there. Upanishads and all. These are the supplements. Like there are 18 Puranas, 6 in mode of ignorance, 6 in passion, and 6 in ignorance. Yeah, like that. Okay. Tarka Graha. Where it is? In the purport? Vedanta Sutra, books of logics, books of religiosity and Puranas. So altogether there are 14 division of books of education. Of this, the book which presents Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge in particular, that Nyaya Shastra is there. Tarka Vitarka. Nyaya Shastra is a book, Mataji. It's a book, yeah, it's a Shastra itself that talks about the logics, different logics, Tarka Vitarka it gives. Okay? And that only that was mentioned about the four things I mentioned, the Samvada, Vada, Jalpa and Vitanda. Different debates. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.